Hi everyone. Today I'll be looking at standard or recommended layouts for various instrumental and vocal scores. The points covered should allow you to correctly produce scores for most instrument combinations. For his ballet music, The Rite of Spring, Igor Stravinsky uses the following instrumentation. Although larger than many orchestral scores, its layout may be considered typical. The score is divided into 4 sections. The order from top to bottom is the woodwinds, the brass, timpani and percussion, and the strings. Within each section, the instruments are typically arranged from highest to lowest, with each member of the instrument family also arranged from high to low. For example, the flute family is scored with the piccolo above the regular flutes and the alto flute below. The oboes are written above the English horn. The piccolo clarinet above the regular clarinets, while the bass clarinet is written below, and the bassoons are written above the contrabassoon. The strings also follow this arrangement, with the violins at the top, then the violas, then the cellos, and finally the double basses. The brass is arranged a little differently, as the horns are scored above the trumpets, despite their range extending below the trumpets' range. This is probably a remnant of earlier scoring practices where the horns were written beneath the woodwinds before trumpets and trombones were later added to the orchestra. The remaining brass instruments, however, are arranged from high to low. The percussion section is typically arranged from top to bottom in the following order: metal, wood, cymbals, and skin. The exception is the timpani, which, although considered a drum, is located at the top of the percussion section, again possibly due to their location in earlier scores. For concertos or works for orchestra and solo voice or choir, the arrangement of the orchestra is identical, and these other instruments are written between the timpani and/or percussion and the string section. A harp, piano, or other keyboard instrument will also be located here. If a harp and piano are included, the harp is typically written above the piano. As we'll see, this arrangement of instruments from high to low is essentially followed for the scores of most other instrumental ensembles. When a piano accompanies a solo instrument or small ensemble, it's always located beneath the other instruments. The other instruments are then typically arranged in the same order as in an orchestral score. For example, in a piano trio, both strings are written above the piano, with the violin above the cello. In a clarinet trio, the clarinet is written above the cello, and both are above the piano. In a piano quartet or quintet, the strings are arranged from violins to cello, and these are above the piano. The piano is also typically written beneath a choir or choir and soloists. A string quartet is arranged from top to bottom from violins to cello, and a woodwind quartet follows the same high to low arrangement. An exception to this, however, occurs in a woodwind quintet, where the horn is written above the bassoon. In a brass quintet also, unlike the orchestral score, the horn is located between the trumpets and the trombone. In mixed scores, typically the included instruments are arranged as per an orchestral score, but if a piano or string quartet or string orchestra are included, they are written at the bottom of the score. An example of a mixed ensemble with string orchestra is Bartók's music for strings, percussion, and celesta. Here, although Bartók specifies the distribution of the strings, they are always located at the bottom of the score. The xylophone, celesta, harp, and piano are located between the strings and the timpani, while the other percussion is here written above the timpani. Concert band scores also essentially follow the layout of an orchestral score, although saxophones, also arranged from high to low, are added between the woodwinds and brass, and the timpani and percussion are at the bottom of the score. Strings are not included except for a double bass, which is typically located between the brass and the timpani. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.